What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So are farmers struggling as a result of tariffs? That's a good question. And I did a video a couple of weeks ago where I was talking about farmers and how they are indicating that they're suffering as a result of tariffs. And there are a variety of different reasons why they're struggling, but tariffs is one of them. So I want to show you this clip. We're going to talk a little bit about it. But first off, if you watch this video and you find this information informative, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Okay, let's go ahead and play this clip and then we'll talk about it. Here we go.
We're going to lose 25 or 30% of the farmers in this country if they don't do something. It has to be done, and it's not just here. It's everywhere.
Farmers are making a cry for help before it's too late. Countless farmers gathered to speak to representatives of Arkansas leaders to share the urgency that something needs to be done about the current state of farming. Jake Tester was at the meeting and now joins us in the studio with more. Jake.
Many farmers spoke up at the meeting, and the message was straightforward. They need help, and they need it now.
Mr. Trump, you looked at me, sir, and you said, I love you. Mr. Trump, I need to see the fruit of your love.
Farmers in crisis align way out the door of the Woods Chapel Baptist Church in Brooklyn as hundreds of farmers from not only Northeast Arkansas, but from across the state came to voice their concerns about the current state of farming. Representatives from U.S. Congressman Rick Crawford, U.S. Senator Tom Cotton, and U.S. Senator John Boozman's offices were in attendance to hear those concerns. Among those farmers in attendance was a farmer in Woodruff County, Chris King. He told me this was his 39th harvest, and he has never seen it as bad as this.
This is his 39th harvest, and he's never seen it as bad as this. Just that alone should tell you everything that you need to know.
Now, I've never been as worried as I am now about whether or not my kids and grandkids will be able to carry on.
For King, the main problem starts with the fact that they can't sell for profit.
I just would like to see somebody help us get our markets back. We need our exports, and we just need to be paid for what we do. And that's not happening. And we're in real trouble.
But that is not the only issue. King's wife, Melissa King, and farmer in Biggers, Arkansas, Scott Brown, said they are struggling to afford the cost that is needed just to take care of the farm.
The prices that we're getting now are prices like they were when we were children, and what it costs for us to farm is astronomical now. I mean, the price of a combine when we were kids was, in the 20,000s, and now it's 100,000.
I farm 800 acres by myself. I can't afford any help. I farm with paid-for equipment. All my tractors are 50 years old, and I can't hardly make this deal work. How's the guys farming 5 and 10,000 with 20 hands and $1 million combines and $1 million drills going to make it work?
But for Brown, there is something that rounds out all the issues that they are facing, the tariffs.
I think the tariffs are the ice cream on the cake of a perfect storm. When you try to sell a product, okay, U.S. soybeans leaving New Orleans without the tariff to China are cheaper than Brazilian soybeans at the current market. But when you put the tariff on top of them, Brazilian beans are cheaper.
So how can this be fixed?
In the short term, they have no choice but to mail us a check. I don't know a farmer that likes the check program. Nobody wants to take taxpayer dollars, but nobody wants to go broke. Nobody wants to lose everything. Long term, we have to have options, markets, and places to sell our product.
And so these farmers are getting it from both ends. When it comes to soybeans, they're able to sell their soybeans in China for cheaper than what Brazil can do. However, when you tack on the tariff, now Brazil is more competitive. Brazil has a cheaper soybean. And so they're able to compete with the U.S. just as a result of tariffs. Okay, and when we're talking about tariffs on that end, it would be tariffs. China has imposed tariffs on us because we impose tariffs on them. So that's what's going on there. And then the other part of this is the fact that they can't buy new equipment. They can't buy new equipment because that equipment is a lot more expensive as a result of tariffs. And so if you want to buy farming equipment, you're probably going to be buying that product from another country, or even if you're buying it in the U.S., if some of those parts are made in another country, then you're going to be paying more for the farming equipment. And that's hurting them as well. And then the last part that he talked about there, he was talking about, the federal government's probably going to just have to start sending us a check. And so now, not only, and this is what you have to think about, not only are the American people, because we're all suffering as a result of tariffs, okay, because we're going to be paying more for products, and that's already being shown. We're already seeing the numbers come in when it comes to inflation, and inflation is increasing. We saw the information coming in with regards to wholesale inflation just a few weeks ago. And so this isn't good for all of us. So we all are paying more. But when it comes to these farmers, they're going to need to be subsidized. So they're going to need to get some checks just to stay afloat. And that's going to be tax dollars that all of us pay that's going to have to go to help these farmers.
Northeast Arkansas representatives of Senator Bozeman, Tom Cotton, and Representative Crawford released the following statement saying in part, quote, "These reforms and investments, once implemented, will help address economic challenges and natural disasters to preserve family farms. Our delegation will continue to work closely with them, state leaders, and the Trump administration to help address their concerns and protect Arkansas's farming heritage and outlook," end quote.
And this is being created, okay? This is being created by the current administration and how they're handling tariffs. This alone. Now, when we're looking at, we saw the appellate court came out and said, when it comes to tariffs, we can't do it this way. The president can't just call emergency and say, okay, we're going to have tariffs here and tariffs there. It has to go through Congress. And so this will go to the Supreme Court, and we'll see if the Supreme Court, how they rule on this. And if they agree with the appellate court and say, no, the president doesn't have the power just to call emergency so he can do tariffs the way that he wants to do it. If it's not an emergency, if it's not a real emergency, you can't just declare an emergency and say, okay, we're going to impose tariffs on this country and on this country and on this country. And I think the current administration, they really messed up in this sense where you see this is like retaliatory. If one country's not doing something that they want, or they're saying that, well, this country is, they're cheating us because they're not buying as many products as we're buying from them, and so we're going to impose a tariff on them, that is not an emergency. And so we'll have to see how the Supreme Court rules on that. But all in all, you see these farmers, they're struggling. And this is just the icing. And one of the farmers said this is the icing on the cake, tariffs, when it comes to really hurting their business. It's not just going to be farmers that are going to be hurt. You're going to see a lot of small businesses that are really going to struggle as a result, and some larger businesses are going to struggle as a result of these tariffs if they stay in place. And so I want to know what you guys think, so let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.